What's good, Vikings Nation? It's time to rally around the purple and gold. But today, we're tackling some tough news that's got us all on edge. Jordan Addison, our electrifying wide receiver, just pleaded guilty to a lesser charge of wet reckless in his DUI case from July 2024. This is a big deal, and it's got the NFL buzzing with talk of a potential suspension. So what exactly happened and how did we get here? Let's rewind and unpack this wild ride. Back on July 12, 2024, Addison was found asleep behind the wheel of his Rolls-Royce, blocking a lane near LAX. The California Highway Patrol didn't hold back, charging him with DUI after alleging his blood alcohol level was above Minnesota's legal limit of 0.08%. This wasn't just a traffic stop. It was a wake-up call for the 23-year-old star and the entire Vikings organization. Now, with the plea deal in place, Addison's avoiding a full-blown DUI conviction, but the NFL's got its eyes locked on him. The league's statement was clear. They're closely monitoring this situation, and it's still under review. What does this mean for our WR1 alongside Justin Jefferson? Stick with me, Vikings fans, because this story's just getting started. All right, let's break down this wet, reckless plea. What's it all about? In California, it's a legal maneuver where you admit to reckless driving involving alcohol, but it's a step below a DUI. Addison's attorney, Tim Younger, dropped the bombshell on X, saying Jordan's taking responsibility with a fine, 12 months of probation, and 2 online courses. If he nails those, his probation could wrap up in just 6 months. Sounds like a win, right? Not so fast. The NFL's policy on substances of abuse is no joke, and Addison's plea keeps him in the crosshairs. ESPN's Kevin Seifert pointed out that admitting to alcohol use in this incident means the league's disciplinary hammer could still drop. A standard first offense penalty? 3 games without pay. That's a gut punch for a team banking on Addison's speed and playmaking. So, Vikings fans, how do you feel about this? Are you standing by Addison? Or is this a tough pill to swallow? Drop your thoughts in the comments because we're all in this together. Let's keep peeling back the layers of this drama. There's more to come. Let's talk numbers because this hits Addison where it hurts, his wallet. According to Spotrack's Michael Giannitti, every game Addison misses due to a suspension could cost him over $88,000. If the NFL slaps him with a 3-game ban, that's a whopping $264,000 gone, and the guaranteed $4.6 million left on his rookie contract could be at risk. Ouch! This isn't just about football. It's a financial hit that could sting for years. Addison's no small fry, though. Drafted 23rd overall in 2023, he's been a key piece of our offense, racking up 70 catches for 911 yards and 10 touchdowns as a rookie, then 63 receptions for 875 yards and 9 scores in 2024, despite an ankle injury. The guy's a playmaker, and losing him even for a few games could mess with our offensive rhythm. What's the vibe in the locker room? Coach Kevin O'Connell didn't mince words, calling out Addison's actions, especially after the tragic loss of rookie Kyrie Jackson in a DUI-related crash last year. How do you think this affects team morale? Let me know below, and let's see what's next for our Vikings. Now, let's zoom out and look at the bigger picture. This isn't Addison's first brush with trouble. Back in July 2023, he was caught speeding at 140 miles per hour on I-94 in St. Paul, a reckless move that led to a petty misdemeanor. 2 run-ins with the law in 2 years? That's raising eyebrows, and the NFL's personal conduct policy is looming large. CBS Sports' Jonathan Jones speculated on X that Addison's suspension could range from 1 to 3 games, depending on mitigating factors. The wet reckless plea might soften the blow, but the league's precedent is clear. First-time alcohol-related offenses usually mean 3 games on the sidelines. Could Addison's work with Mothers Against Drunk Driving, MAD, sway the NFL to go lighter? Here's a question for you, Vikings Nation. Do you think the NFL should cut Addison some slack for owning up? Or should they stick to the standard penalty? Hit the comments and let's debate this. The clock's ticking as we head toward training camp. Speaking of MAD, let's give credit where it's due. Addison's been proactive, voluntarily joining their events and programs over the past year. His attorney, Jacqueline Sparagna, praised him for skipping a trial and taking the plea deal, saying it lets him focus on his promising career. That's a silver lining. But will it be enough to keep the NFL's disciplinary team at bay? The Vikings are bracing for impact. With training camp kicking off on July 27th, the timing couldn't be worse. Addison's a key target for our new quarterback, J.J. McCarthy, and losing him could disrupt the chemistry we're building. Imagine McCarthy without one of his top weapons. How's that going to play out against tough defenses like the Bears in Week 1? What's your take, fans? Can Jalen Nailor or T.J. Hawkinson step up if Addison's out? Drop your predictions in the comments because we're about to see how deep this Vikings roster really is. Let's keep rolling. Let's talk about the NFL's next move. The league's been tight-lipped, but their statement about closely monitoring Addison's case is a big red flag. The policy on substances of abuse is crystal clear. A first offense typically means a 3-game suspension, no pay, and a hit to the team's plans. But here's the twist. Could Addison's plea deal and mad involvement make the NFL go easy? Some analysts, like Jonathan Jones, think a 1 to 3-game ban is possible, citing precedent and factors like Addison's clean record before these incidents. Others, like ESPN's Adam Schefter, are sticking with the 3-game baseline. Either way, the Vikings are staring down a potential early season hole in their lineup. Vikings fans, what's the worst-case scenario here? If Addison misses 3 games, are we ready to take on the Bears, Falcons, and Bengals without him? Share your game plan in the comments, and let's figure out how we rally around the purple and gold. Now, let's get into the team's perspective. The Vikings issued a statement back in July 2024, saying they were gathering more information after Addison's arrest. Fast forward to now, and Coach O'Connell's made it clear he's not happy. The timing stings. Our organization was rocked by Kyrie Jackson's tragic death in a DUI-related crash just weeks before Addison's arrest. That's a raw wound for this team. Addison's role as a complementary weapon to Justin Jefferson is huge. His speed and playmaking stretch defenses thin, and in 2024, he proved he's a clutch performer with 9 touchdowns in 15 games. Losing him, even for a few weeks, could force us to lean harder on Jefferson and Hawkinson, putting pressure on McCarthy's development. What do you think, Vikings Nation? How does this impact our trust in Addison moving forward? Can he bounce back and prove he's learned from this? Hit the comments and let's talk about it. Because this team's got big dreams for 2025, let's shift gears to the financial fallout. Addison's 4-year, $13.7 million rookie contract is a big investment, with 2 guaranteed seasons left. But here's the kicker. A suspension could void the guarantees on his remaining $4.6 million. That's not just pocket change. It's a massive blow for a young player building his future. Spotrac's breakdown is brutal. $88,000 per game missed, plus the risk of losing those guarantees. For a guy who's been a first-round pick and a rising star, this is a wake-up call to get it together off the field. The Vikings also face a decision next offseason on his 5th-year option. Will this incident make them think twice? Vikings fans, let's get real. How much does this financial hit hurt Addison's focus? And should the Vikings lock him in long-term, or is it too risky? Drop your thoughts below, because this is a big moment for our squad's future. As we head toward the 2025 season, the Vikings are in a tough spot. If Addison's suspended, we're looking at a receiving core led by Jefferson, with Nailor and a healthy Hawkinson stepping up. But let's be honest, Addison's speed is a game-changer, and his absence could throw off our offensive rhythm. The Vikings open against the Bears on September 8th, and we need all hands on deck. The good news? Addison's shown remorse, engaging with Mad and keeping the Vikings in the loop. His attorney says he's ready to put this behind him and focus on football. But with the NFL's ruling still pending, we're left hanging, wondering how long we'll be without our star receiver. What's your game plan, Vikings Nation? How do we adjust if Addison's out for Week 1? Should we lean on our run game or let McCarthy air it out? Share your strategies in the comments because we're building this team together. Alright, Vikings faithful, here's where we wrap it up. But not without a fight. Jordan Addison's plea deal is a step toward closure, but the NFL's looming suspension could shake up our 2025 season. Whether it's one game or three, we're Vikings fans, we don't back down. This team's got depth, heart, and a hunger for the playoffs, and we're not letting this derail us. Skol. The big question is, how does Addison come back from this? Can he channel this setback into motivation and light up the field like he did with 19 touchdowns in his first 2 seasons? And more importantly, can we trust him to stay out of trouble and be the leader we need? Let's hear your predictions in the comments. If you're as fired up as I am about the Vikings, smash that like button, drop a comment with your thoughts, and subscribe to the channel for all the latest Vikings news. Share this with your fellow fans, because we're building a purple and gold army. Let's ride into 2025 together. Skol Vikings!